my channel. I'm Reed Wilson, and for this week's challenge, I am creating another series, and we are going to, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but right now we're going to call it Eat Through My Pantry series. So I have 2 fridges that also have freezers, a freezer downstairs, and a pantry. And I'm at the point where I think that I can eat through it without having to buy pretty much anything new. The only thing that I'm setting for this is I will allow myself to buy like fresh produce, just because you always need fresh food. In my opinion, it's easier to cook with, but the challenge is that I am going to cook through what I have in my house so that I can get to the point where I am only purchasing things on like a week to week basis for cooking my food, so there is no more food waste. In this challenge, I will also be showing you all of the recipes that I create out of cooking this. The first part of this series is just going to be me inventorying all of the food that I have in both freezers, or sorry, all 3 freezers, both fridges, and the pantry. Once I have all the inventory done, I will start creating meals out of it. So probably once a month, you'll just get a montage of all of the meals that I create, including the recipes that I use. That's going to be this week's challenge. And like I say, it's going to be a series. So make sure that you hit that notification bell. If you haven't, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a video, because this series is probably going to take me a while. But let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna start with the fridge, or my one fridge. This is what I consider my cooking fridge. You've probably seen on some of my socials, or even other things where I have a beverage fridge. I have ADHD and I need like 3 beverages on the go all the time. This is how it's gonna kind of go. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna inventory it, and I am using an app. This isn't sponsored or anything. What is it even called? It's called the Kitchen Pal, and it allows me to like pick fridge, pantry, freezer, spices, all of that kind of stuff to inventory what I have. The coolest part, it actually has this recipe button, and it actually gives me recipes I can use with the products I already have. So that's probably how I'm gonna come up with most of my recipes, but that is what we're gonna do. So I'll just kind of show you how it works. So for example, a creamer, and don't come after me, I drink creamer. Who really gives a flying? So you have the ability to scan a barcode. Oh, hi, sweet baby. Hello. Say hi, hello. Oh, kisses. Thank you. I appreciate the kisses. Anyways, you scan it, and then it tells you what is on it, and then you can say how full it is. This one's only about 3/4 empty, and you can just adjust it, and then you just hit add to kitchen. And then you have that inventory. That is what I'm going to do now, is I'm just going to inventory what is in my fridge so that I am aware. Now, if it's something that's like leftovers or anything, I'm not going to inventory that because I know I'm going to have to eat it. But I will inventory still my fresh food, so that, like I said, even though in the rules I said like I'm not going to purchase anything, the only thing that I can purchase is replacement or fresh produce. So I'm still going to inventory the fresh produce, because then it'll actually alert me when I'm almost out as well. So that'll also help too, because with an ADHD brain, guys, I tend to Hi, baby. She wants to come in. Should we let her come in? Hi. Hi. Oh, yes. She saw the food. With my ADHD brain, if I don't see it, I tend to buy more. As you guys know, when I redid my little snack corner, if I see it, I know it's there and I can use it. So this will help with that, because I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of hard to organize a freezer with like out hiding things. You just want to always be involved in a video, don't you? Yeah, you like it. I don't even think she knows when I do it, so she just wants to be with me, realistically. But anyways, let's continue to inventory mommy's fridge. Yeah? Oh, hi. Oh, hi. We just got home from a walk. Yeah, we just got home from a walk. You are shedding. You get groomed tomorrow, next week. Yeah. You want a little teaser for next week? We're going to do a yes day for this beautiful girl. Aren't we? We're going to video a yes day, and it's just going to be all about you and whatever you want to do. Huh? Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Okay, let's continue. You can also add expiries in it so that you know when to get rid of it. That is probably, what do you mean? It's salsa. So if it doesn't find a match from the barcode, you can just add it. So you hit, again, not sponsored this app or whatever. I'm just showing you how I'm going to inventory. I know lots of people that have inventoried by using Excel sheets or things like that. So, but you just hit the little plus button and then you can actually just speak into it. Salsa. And then it just brings up the list of salsas. And then you hit want to add, you add it, and this bottle's about 3/4 gone. And if it puts it in the wrong place, like this one put it in pantry, not really sure who keeps salsa in a pantry after it's open. Maybe people do, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go 3/4 full. You can change the storage. I'm gonna put it into the fridge. The only thing I haven't found in this app that I might put a suggestion in is, oh, you can create other ones. So I can create multiple fridges. So, oh, you have to pay for this one. Well, we're gonna do the free version first. If you wanna pay, you can add, right now it has fridge, pantry, freezer, spices, ooh, beverages. But the only one that I'd like to split up would be freezers, because technically I have 3. And so knowing the location of where all that stuff is, but we'll see how it works for the free version because, well, no offense. Again, this is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid for this app, so I don't think I should have to pay. Also, if you guys have never tried this, it's by QP. It's the deep roasted sesame stuff. I put that on everything. Literally, I will put this on anything. It's so good. I have owned this fridge since my second house that I ever owned. This is the fridge that came with it, and it's literally the best fridge in the world. And it lasted, it's got, I don't know how old it is. I'm not going to disclose that because I don't think that we need to talk about age. Right? Yeah. It keeps everything so fresh for so long. Like produce, it's insane how long it keeps my produce fresh compared to the silver fridge that I own, which is one of the reasons I ended up bringing this over, because I was renting out that house. And then when I sold it without the fridge. And took this fridge home because this fridge literally keeps everything, I'm not joking, it'll keep it long, I want to say months past when it claims it should be rotten. Even fresh produce, cucumbers and stuff. It's crazy how well this fridge works, which is one of the reasons my food stays in this. But this is a beverage. It should go into the beverage fridge. Okay, I'm just gonna keep doing this. This is probably going to be a montage, and if I need to talk, I'll come talk. One of the things that also works on this app, again, I'm not sponsored or anything. Oh, I gotta change this battery. You can take pictures and create your own. So if I just take a picture, it wouldn't look up my Babybel cheese. You can just create it, and it goes in there, and it tells you where it is. Now here's the real dilemma, Babybels. Do I put how many Babybels I have, or just that I have one package of Babybels? Maybe I do one package of Babybels, and then once it gets lower, I can adjust the inventory. Hi, sweet boy. Okay, you can't be in here. Thank you. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know what this is. It looks like another salsa. It's clearly homemade. God, my posture's terrible. It also could be pasta sauce. Huh. That looks like, no, it looks like onion. I truly have no idea what this is, and I don't really want to open it until I know what it is. So what do I do? What do I label it as? Hot salsa or pasta sauce? Or do I leave it as a mystery and then open it one day and figure it out? And if it's salsa, I can add it to my salsa jar. Let's do that. We'll just leave it in. This, I know what this is. Now the real question is it even good? I made apple butter last fall. Now that I've opened it, I'm going to have to put stuff in it. Hi, sweet boy. I know you want to be in the video too. You say, hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, you go play with your sister, please. This is a dip I made, which I have to say is probably pretty questionable on whether it's good or not. I don't think I want to tell you how long ago I made it. So I think it's gonna have to go into the compost. These are dates. Okay, Let's inventory. Oops, oops, oops. No, no, no. Fridge. Dates. Haha. It's a big bag of dates. I quite enjoy dates. Best before January 26th, 2026. This is 3 months old. It's never been opened. Oh, look at that. That doesn't look good at all. Looks fermented. That's disgusting. So just like me organizing the rest of my life, apparently I need to organize my fridge more often. Oh, look at this. Oh, I think that used to be a lime. That's pretty nasty. Okay, so the more I'm adding, the more recipes it's giving me. I have 34 recipes I could do now. So like, I think this is gonna be a really fun way to utilize some of the things, and then I'll just make sure that when I buy something, like fresh produce that I have or need, I'll add it into here, because then it does give me more recipe ideas. This is gonna be so fun. Oh, my ankle is sore. I dislocated my ankle a couple of years ago, and it gets really irritated when I crisscross applesauce all the time. I'm gonna say this to myself in the nicest way possible. I have food in here that I actually need to throw out because it's probably been sitting in the fridge for so long that it tastes like fridge. However, the pesto is probably still good. Let's find out the expiry on this. Oh, it's technically expired in March. Okay, so I bought this, you guys, for the Eat Green Day, St. Patrick's Day. This expired before St. Patrick's Day, so technically I bought expired food. Well, that's not okay. It expired on March 10th, and I literally filmed the Green Day the day before St. Patrick's Day. And that is Autumn. My sourdough starter. Here is some, I don't know, have you guys seen that viral carrot salad? That's what this is. And I don't like carrots, but I will eat carrots like this. Mostly because I'll eat pickled carrots. Okay, I know what these are. So I made chocolate covered dates with peanut butter in them. That's what these are. They're a little sweet treat that I can have when I'm craving sweet treats. You know what I want to do? I went down to Palm Springs, what? Do you remember? 2-3 years ago? I don't know. It was a while ago. And where we were in Palm Springs, they had like, I think it was Palm Springs. I might be wrong. Please don't quote me on that. Anyways, I went on vacation and we got date milkshakes wherever we were. And seriously, the best thing I think I have ever had. Like, I'm not a huge milkshake person, but best milkshakes. And I would like to attempt to make those at home. So that is an easy way to use the dates out of my fridge. And I know I have vanilla ice cream in the big freezer. So that might be a challenge part. So you might get a recipe for that. We shall see. Okay, and I have kimchi back there. I'm gonna scan this, don't mind my ass. The only thing that irritates me about this app is that it automatically puts everything into my pantry. All right, you guys, I've officially inventoried this fridge. So I'll go to the freezer and then I'll go to the next fridge and freezer and we'll just continue to move on as slowly. Let's move on to the next fridge. Okay, it's my beverage fridge. Now in my beverage fridge, I also have my condiments, which I will probably end up throwing some out because I don't know if there's, I don't know if I want to tell you, oh yeah, Okay, so this one expired in 2015. And this one expired in 2016. Okay. Not good. However, I do know that 90% of the stuff that I have in this fridge is just fine because it's mostly beverages. Now here's my question. Do I actually inventory the beverages? Because I do restock and go through these monthly, so I'm thinking no. I am thinking I will inventory the condiments. Condiments. So that I at least know what condiments I have, just in case pantry related things I own, so that like I know I have 2 more ranch in my pantry, so when this is out I know that I can get another one from there, but then I know that I have 1 in the fridge and 1 in the pantry, so I don't go buy another 2-pack. So I think I'll do that, but I do know that I am going to, does clam go bad? Clamato go bad? I'm keeping it. There are some things that I am going to take out, like for example, I have SodaStream bottles in here that are just full of water. Well, I haven't bought anything for my SodaStream in years, so I might put this in the trailer so that I don't have to take pop to the trailer all the time, or soda for those who watch me from other countries that call it soda. We call it pop in Canada. Anyways, I might just put the bottles down there, even though I keep my SodaStream up top here. But I honestly haven't used, like I filled these up with water and I can't tell you the last time I used it. So they're just gonna come out so that I actually just have more room in general. Okay, so it looks exactly the same as the jar that was in the other fridge. So it could be salsa or it could be pasta sauce. So I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm actually gonna put it in the other fridge so I can see them both. Okay, now this one I think is pasta sauce. Look at, it's so much runnier than salsa. But again, I don't know for sure because it's not labeled. Clearly I got it from a family member. Same spot. Apparently I gotta start eating pasta sauce or salsa or whatever it is. Maple syrup, a Canadian must. Okay, I've inventoried the fridge. Now I'm gonna do the freezer. So I think what I'm gonna do with the freezer is I'm just gonna take everything out, and as I put it back in, I'm gonna inventory it. Just because it's easier and it's on the ground and I don't want to sit again. So I think I will do it that way. So when I inventoried that freezer, I had, well, I went and bought a whole bunch of turkey bacon. Turns out I already had turkey bacon in this freezer. See, so this is going to be a win because I now have 4. My homemade pizza dough. That's good to know. Again, didn't know. I think I'm gonna need an energy drink for this. Also, there is a local ice cream place in town and they do a coffee ice cream and it's literally the best ice cream in the world. I mean, their ice cream in general is amazing, but their coffee ice cream, because they use a local coffee shop for the coffee, so good. Ooh, it's a little frozen. I should probably eat this. It's halfway done. So adding that. Okay, I'm gonna inventory this and then this fridge will be done now too. Boop. So you know how I couldn't figure out what those jars were if they were tomato sauce? Well, I have 4 frozen bags of homemade tomato sauce also in my freezer. I'm going to have to utilize that. Okay, so I've got both the fridges and the fridge freezers done. The longest part of this is going to be that pantry of mine. And I will just kind of show you. You see the pantry here? So I think what I'll do is I'll do a shelf at a time. That way I can also reorganize it. And then I will have to do the spices. Okay guys, it's day 2. I ended up not finishing everything last night because, well, let's be honest, I was getting tired and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I'm just gonna do the pantry, but as I open this, oh, look at my cat being all sneaky, thinking he's gonna get food. As I open this pantry, I realize that I'm gonna make myself another rule, and that is, if I can make it, okay, so I just gotta show you this. So my cat knows how to open and get into the dog food, if you can't tell, which is why it is in that container, because he can't get the lid all the way up. Yeah, you're a bit of a turkey there, Octavius. Anyway, it made me realize that if I can make it at home, then I also am not gonna buy it. So for example, I have 00 flour, which means I can make pasta. I have rice flour, which means I can make rice noodles. So that is also part of the rule. If I can make it at home, homemade, then I will also not be purchasing it. The only time that I think that I will give myself leniency on that is if I need it for like a specific recipe, but because the whole point is for me to cook through everything that I already have, I think that's going to be also a rule. Again, not sponsored, but this protein powder, probably the best tasting protein powder I've ever tried. I very much enjoy it. Again, not sponsored, just something I like. Don't mind the sound. I am running my vacuum mop robot.
Start emptying.
It's truly the only thing that keeps me sane. I have 2 animals. One is a dog and goes outside all the time, and it's the only way that my floors stay clean and vacuumed. I don't think I'll have to worry about pasta. My entire table is covered in it. Again, I'll say this again, not sponsored video or anything like that, but when I am not feeling well, I crave chicken and chicken flavored things when I am not feeling 100%. And so one of the things I always buy are these like chicken sidekicks, and they're seriously the most satisfying thing when I don't feel good. And they just bring me so much joy and make me feel better even if I'm not better. Just thought I'd share. All right, you guys, I finished inventorying everything, and so now it's gonna be the fun part. I'm just gonna show you all the recipes I create. So the first one I'm gonna create is kind of a play off of that green goddess salad that went viral, what, a couple years back, maybe a year back. Just because I know that I have all the stuff to sort of makeshift it. Okay, so all I'm gonna start with is the sauce, which again is the best part. It's gonna be similar to the sauce that I made in my only eating green day. Not quite the same, but close to. What I am going to start with is I washed up the spinach because, as you know, I need to use it up. I'm going to use it for this, just because this is a good, quick, easy snack, which is why I'm making it. So I'm just going to put in a handful of spinach. Oh no, it's going everywhere. And then the rest of the spinach is actually going to be used for tonight. I'm going to still make that Tuscan chicken because I shockingly have all the ingredients. Then we're going to add some garlic. Now measure with your heart. Use real garlic. I honestly don't care. Don't make it at all. Again, it's up to you. Now I have a basil plant, so I just cut off a handful of the basil leaves that I'm going to stick in there. Probably not enough, just because my basil plant is still pretty young, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to add in some lime juice, or lemon. Sorry, this is lemon juice. You can add in whichever one you prefer. Now I'm just going to blend this up real quick, just because I do want to add, I'm going to add some cashews to make it a little creamier. Let's add in some cashews, which again, we know I have because I inventoried them from my freezer. I don't know, a handful or 2. Sure. The next thing we're going to add is nutritional yeast. Honestly, in my opinion, the best part. I probably overdo it. I think the original recipe called for like 1/4 of a cup of olive oil or something like that. I eyeball it all. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just add some salt and pepper. All right, and then I think the sauce is done. Now for the fun part. Now, I'm lazy. I'm going to be using my veggie chopper. And the first thing we're going to cut up is the cucumbers. I just have 3 of these mini cucumbers that clearly need to be eaten, so we're just going to use those. And you want everything to be pretty much as small as you can cut it. So I'm going to cut the cucumber in half and, well, I guess technically in 4ths lengthwise. And then, oops, that one. And then I'm just going to cut it into like 3rds, I guess. And then you can just put it in the veggie chopper like so. Oh goodness, I'm just breaking things. And chop. And it just makes tiny little squares. But for the cabbage, I'm going to use the bigger cutter. These ones are like the tiny squares. I'm going to use the bigger one for the cabbage just because I don't want to wreck those. And I think the cabbage can. So I'm only using 1/4 quarter of the cabbage. I know I had 3/4, but I'm only using a quarter because I don't need to make everything out of this cabbage. Perfect. And then yeah, I just put the cabbage into and it also makes tiny little squares. And if you want to chop it by hand, you're more than welcome to. If you don't have a veggie chopper, it's really easy. I just chop it like this. And then I just go through and like chop it. And I'll actually show you because these aren't going to be quite as small as I want. So this is just going to give me the initial shape or size, I guess, that I want. And then, okay, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a handful of the cabbage I just put through my veggie chopper. I'm going to put it onto my cutting board because they're just not quite the size that I want. And then I'm literally just going to run my knife through like this to get them into even smaller pieces. Alrighty. This might be too much sauce for this, but I don't know. The sauce is just really good. Now I'm just gonna mix her up. And you want it all nice and coated. Okay, let's give it a try, shall we? And you can serve it with whatever kind of chip you want. That is what it looks like. And then I'll just serve it on a tortilla chip. Seriously, that is just so good. It's just so good. Anyway, I am gonna show you the second meal for the end of this video, and then you will see the part 2. Part 2 is probably just gonna be like however many meals I make in a month. That way you have a ton of recipes, but I'll give you an update on what the freezers and the fridges look like as well. Okay, you guys, it is that time. We are gonna start the Tuscan chicken. So I'm using chicken from my freezer that I have thawed out. I'm using the pack of protein pasta that was in my pantry. I'm using an evaporated milk also in my pantry. I will probably be using the rest of the parm that was in my freezer. The mushrooms that I had left over from that other dish that I had made, and half of onion that was in my fridge. Plus I have these cherry tomatoes that have been sitting on my counter that I need to use up. So far, that is everything from my fridge. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my pan on medium-high. I am going to spray it, use cooking oil, use regular oil, whatever you want, doesn't matter. Okay, and because I am trying to make this quickly, because I am starving, actually it's 6:33. Let's see how long this will take. Because if we can make this under 30 minutes, that's also a good meal. Okay, so I kind of have like 1.5 chicken breasts. And I'm not one of those people that gets scared of chicken, just so you know. So I'm actually gonna butterfly these and then probably cut them in half. This one will be just butterflied completely. Speaking of that, I'm gonna butterfly it and then I'm just gonna tenderize it with my tenderizer. Yes, I know I'm not doing it with a bag or anything, but I washed the tenderizer. I'm gonna do that with the other breast. However, with this, 4 servings per. Okay, so we'll try and make this into 4 servings. That being said, I think what I can do is I can split this one, because it's heavier, into 2 equal ones, like so. That is 4. So let's cut this other one into 4 so that there's just 4 extra chunks. Why not? Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands, I promise. Soap, water, and like warm water. Okay, hands are washed, which means I'm not gonna handle the chicken anymore. And we are just gonna salt and pepper these. Super simple. One of the reasons I make more than what, I would eat in a meal is because, as you know, I'm a business owner, and so I need quick, easy lunches. And so leftovers are super simple. Even though I work from home, I have to be able to eat, walk my dog, within like 20 minutes because of just the job that I have in my business. And so making extra for leftovers is seriously ideal. Okay, and so you put the flavored side down, or the seasoned side down, and then we are going to salt and pepper the other side. It's almost barbecue season, you guys. I can't wait to use my barbecue. All right, we're gonna brown those on both sides. I'm just gonna wash this up. I'm not using this cutting board again, but what I'm gonna do is wash it up just really quick because we're gonna take the chicken out, and truthfully, I'd rather put it on here just in case the chicken's not fully cooked through. That can go away. Now we're going to move on to the veggies. I'm just gonna prep them. I'm just gonna have the cherry tomatoes. I'm just gonna show you my perspective from this because this is what is sitting behind me as I cook. And anyway, that's what the chicken looks like currently. There is a trick to do this faster. If you have like a Tupperware container lid, you can just put it and then like cut it through. Honestly, I'm just too lazy to wash the Tupperware container lid. Okay, and I know that we had the mushrooms I bought were already sliced, but I will chop them up a little more just because I think they're a little too big for this dish. But I am just gonna dice up half an onion, and I'm just gonna rough chop them up because they're already sliced. I just think they're a little big, especially because I'm doing shelled pasta. And I'm seriously, when I say rough chopping, I'm just rough chopping. Just like I kind of did with the cabbage. I'm just rough chopping it. Because I still want them to be big pieces. Like I don't want them minced. I just find that the pre-sliced mushrooms are usually just a little big for this scenario. Okay, that should be good. Check the chicken. Perfect. Okay, and this is how brown you want them to look. All right, we'll do a couple more minutes on this side, and then we're gonna remove the chicken. This will probably only take another 15 minutes, so I'm gonna start cooking the pasta. Okay, the chicken might not be fully cooked through, but that's okay because we will finish it off in the sauce once everything is done. But it's been browned on both sides, so we're just gonna remove it, set it to the side. And the first thing we are going to cook is the mushroom, just like I did in my previous video. We want the mushrooms to kind of cook out that moisture first. So we're just gonna do that. And I still have it on medium high. This might take a little longer than the 15 minutes just because I like to render down the mushrooms as far as I can. Get them nice and brown. All right, and then once you start seeing them completely brown up and the moisture is kind of almost completely out, that's when I would add in the onion. And you'll cook this for like 1 to 2 minutes, just until you can see that the onion is starting to turn a little bit opaque. And then you're gonna add in the garlic. Now again, I'm lazy, so I'm gonna use my Costco garlic. Measure with your heart, because it's garlic. And give that, again, about a minute or so, because you don't wanna burn the garlic. And this is the point that you probably are gonna add in your tomatoes. This is what it should look like. Just add in your halved cherry tomatoes, and we're gonna let the cherry tomatoes kind of cook out for, I'd say, 2 to 3 minutes to start, because you want them to just cook down and start releasing their own juices. And then once they've started doing that, we're gonna season them. Add a little bit of chicken stock just to help them along. And then hopefully we will be ready to add the pasta. So the pasta water is boiling, so I am just gonna add the whole box. Now, I know that a lot of people season their pasta with the water, and go ahead and do that if you like. I season the sauce enough that I don't find that it necessarily needs that. But if you do that all the time, do it. I also do it for some dishes. Just for this particular one, I find that this is salty enough. Plus, I do find that these protein pastas have a lot more flavor. And because I will be adding in spinach to wilt, one of the tricks that I do is I actually roughly chop the spinach as well, just because nobody wants a huge chunk of spinach when they're in a sauce like this. Or I don't. I shouldn't say nobody. I don't. So I just run my knife through kind of like this, Because it will all wilt, yes, smaller, but this just like helps it along. Again, preference. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay, and when the tomatoes start to burst more, it's one of the reasons I have them. You don't have to have them because they will burst, but I find that it cooks faster if you do have them. And then we're just gonna add in a little bit of chicken stock to just kind of deglaze it. I'd say a 1/4 cup-ish. I'll put the original recipe up in the comments if you want. And this is what it should look like after you add the chicken stock. Deglazing, it's creating that little brown sauce from all of the flavor. And the tomatoes will render down more as this goes. Now we're gonna add the seasoning. We add some salt. Oh, this is pepper. We're gonna add some pepper. We're gonna add some salt. And you can add whatever kind of spices you like. I've added Italian before. But tonight I just am going to use what I have on hand again. I have some parsley and basil. I would probably normally add oregano too, but I don't have any oregano, as you know from inventorying all my stuff. Well, you wouldn't know that, but I know that. Okay, and we just want to cook out those dry herbs because, well, you don't want them to taste like dry herbs. That is cooked down enough. We are going to add in the spinach. And just let that wilt until it's all wilted. And then the fun begins. We'll add the cream, which again, I'm using evaporated milk because that's what I have. That spinach is pretty rendered down now. I'm just going to drain the pasta because this protein pasta, when it gets overcooked, it gets mushy. So, okay, we're just going to add in the evaporated milk. And I just do a whole can. Now that we've added in the milk, we are just going to, or cream, or whatever it is you want to use. You need some sort of dairy, liquid. I'm going to add back in the chicken as the milk, evaporated milk, is coming up to a simmer. And we'll let that sit in there for a couple of minutes, and then we'll add the Parm cheese, and then we're done. The one thing about using something like cream or evaporated milk, you got to make sure you mix so it doesn't burn the bottom. But this has been simmering for a couple of minutes now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Parm cheese. Now, I'd say this is about a 1/4 cup. I usually am just a measure with your heart kind of person, but I'm just going to use the rest of this Parm cheese from my freezer, which means I can actually remove it from my inventory. So that's a success. Why not one item down? I mean, I guess I used the cherry tomatoes too. And the spinach. And the mushrooms. Multiple items down, you guys. Okay, now that that Parm is in there, we're just gonna let this simmer, I'd say for 2 to 3 minutes, just to get it all melded together. And honestly, by the time this is done, it's gonna be a 40-minute dinner. All right, it's about done. And yes, it makes a pretty runnier sauce, but it does thicken up once it cools down. This is also really good over rice. And that's the finished product on this one. So technically you got 2 meals out of this. I did the inventory for my entire house, so I will continue to do this series, but it'll mostly just be cooking now. So that's gonna be part of the challenge, which hopefully you guys like, because that's what I'm gonna do. But if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because like I say, this is going to be a series and I don't think you're going to want to miss any more of the videos in this series, because I think it's going to be fun to watch, to see me fail and or succeed at making food out of everything I own. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. But that's going to be it for me this week, you guys. So I'll see you next Saturday. When life feels gray, let's find the black and white balance.